So, good morning, everyone. It's 11 o'clock, and we're going to go ahead and start with our next session. I just want to welcome everyone to the next session of the Strong Family, Strong Communities virtual conference. I am your moderator, Shaquita Babin, and this session will highlight 5 wonderful family science interns who focus their efforts this semester on school engagements. This session is being recorded, and we ask that all participants keep your audio and your video off during the presentation portion of the session. This will protect the bandwidth and hopefully prevent any potential issues as far as lagging. We have several great internships to hear about, so let's get started. Our featured intern presenters are Pedro Arguello. He interned at the Anthony Aguirre Junior High School. Pamela Velasquez, interned with Channelview ISD. Mara Gonzalez Ramirez, she interned at Domingo Trevino Middle School. Mariah Mims interned at West Orange Stark Elementary School. And Jasmine Richard interned at Hunter Glen Elementary. We will begin by viewing the video reports that they have prepared for us, followed by a question and answers, where we will be able to ask focused questions about their specific internships. So just give me one moment while I get everything set up for you.
I currently work at Anthony Aguirre Junior High as a counselor aide, and it's also the place where I'm doing my internship for my bachelor's degree in family science at Lamar University. During my internship, I've learned many things that I can now apply to my future career. Working with students one-on-one and talking to parents about concerns they have about their students has improved my communication skills, my ability to handle crisis calmly and effectively, and overall help families build a stronger family dynamic. A day in the life of my internship is always different. When I'm not setting meetings, talking to parents about schedule changes, covering teachers, coaching after school, or setting up for special events in our school, I'm working with the counseling team as part of my internship. During that time, I engage with students and discuss their issues at school, home, or any other topic they wish to address. My objective for my internship is for students to feel comfortable expressing themselves and stopping by whenever they want to talk, instead of me calling them down to my office. One way I can track this progress is to compare the sign-off sheets every week, making sure students are now eager to share more with me and that their attendance increases. During my internship, I created various resources to assist my students, their parents, and my school district. One of the artifacts I am most proud of is titled Taking Control. While I can't go into too much detail about everything my students share with me, I noticed a common emotion expressed during our conversations. Many students were quick to anger. This issue frequently prevented them from communicating effectively with friends, family, and staff members at school. This observation inspired me to develop the Taking Control resource. My goal was to provide students with strategies for managing their emotions so they don't let anger or frustration dictate their actions. I make the worksheet simple for them to do and use simple vocabulary so as not to confuse students. I also provided a self reflection sheet on their feelings after learning these strategies and what they can do to better manage their emotions to improve communications with others. Another artifact that I made during my internship is also a resource page and posters. During my internship, I had the privilege of assisting Miss Jones, a youth wellness specialist for Harris County. There, I learned that she partners with many schools in the Channelview districts to get students and families the aid they need. Some of those resources include crisis counseling and consultations, support for homeless population, and other basic needs. Many staff members didn't know that we have a youth specialist on almost every campus and that almost all these resources are completely free for families who qualify. So I made flyers for every office if requested by any staff member or teacher, as well as posters for each counselor to hang in their room. I really enjoy doing my internship at Channelview ISD. I learned many things working with the counseling team and other agencies that partner with our school, which helped me grow both personally and professionally. While some topics were at times sensitive and were really hard for me to listen to, this experience is one that I will carry with me in my future career. I plan to use all the knowledge that I gained throughout my experience to help students and families. A memory that I cherish the most is really connecting with students. I finally want to take a moment to thank Ms. Nixon, my supervisor throughout this whole internship. She's been an amazing teacher and friend who has taught me so much and given me advice on how to deal with certain situations during my internship. She always makes time for me with her already busy schedule and frequently checks up on me if I need anything. Thank you, Ms. Nixon, for everything you do for me and all the students and families at Channelview ISD.
Hello, my name is Pamela Velasquez. I'm currently a senior at Lamar University, earning my bachelor's in family studies. This spring semester, I was able to begin my internship, and I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to do it at my job, which is a middle school in the Channelview ISD district. Going into this internship, I was excited to be able to use my knowledge and resources to help students as well as families create that bond and understanding of changes that happen during the teenage years. An overview of my internship. As a family studies intern at a middle school, I work closely with middle school students to support their social, emotional, and family related development. I engage students in conversations about their school experiences and home life, providing a safe and supportive environment where they could express concerns, build self awareness, and develop healthy communication skills. During the second semester, the primary focus was preparing students for the upcoming state assessment. A key aspect of my role involved engaging students in conversations about how they manage stress, as well as gaining insight into their daily routines and responsibilities. Recognizing that many students feel hesitant when speaking with adults, I emphasized the importance of confidentiality and reassured them that they could share only what they felt comfortable discussing. A significant portion of my work involves supporting eighth grade students as they prepare for the transition to high school. We had in depth discussions about their future aspirations, including potential career paths, especially since the local high school offers opportunities to earn college credits. I also worked with seventh grade students and discovered that some parents were unaware of these academic programs. In response, I created an informational brochure to help communicate these opportunities more effectively. Additionally, I facilitated conversations about students' long term goals and explored how their families were supporting them in achieving these objectives. On a typical day during this internship, we would begin the week by discussing students' weekend activities, particularly any time spent with their family. We would then review their upcoming academic responsibilities and conclude with a brief questionnaire. These questionnaires help guide reflection and allowed me to develop an artifact summarizing the themes and discussions for that week. The strategic plan, the goal is to support middle school students in developing healthy communication skills and coping strategies by providing a safe space to discuss school and home life. The outcome, students get more comfortable talking with each meeting that we have. They feel heard and that they have a safe space for them to go to if needed. This slide shows two of my lab artifacts that I wanted to share. The first one shows the tips in which a parent can motivate their student and be involved with their schoolwork. I understand that now many parents work, myself included, and majority of the time we get home tired. Even if the student feels annoyed that the parents are constantly asking about school, they do notice the involvement that a parent does and that they will be thankful one day. Another artifact is when friends influence choices. In middle school, many students are easily influenced by other students, mostly to fit in. I did this article after talking to students regarding feeling pressure to act a certain way just because all their friends are. This is an important topic that parents should be aware of and always make their children feel comfortable enough to talk to them about anything. The reflection, this role strengthened my ability to communicate effectively with adolescents, maintaining confidentiality and approach sensitive topics with empathy and professionalism. I would like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Wilson, for this opportunity, and also our school counselors, Ms. Nixon, Ms. Hertz, and Ms. Davids, for trusting me with students and their families, allowing us to come together and build meaningful connections that support student growth and success. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mara Ramirez and I'm a school engagement intern at Domingo Treviño Middle School in Mission, Texas. I am excited for hands-on experience in preparation for a career dedicated to supporting and serving students and their families. Internship overview. As a school engagement intern at Domingo Treviño Middle School, my role is to support students' social, emotional development by building positive relationships and creating a safe and supportive environment. I also collaborate with school counselors and staff to address students' needs while supporting attendance and encouraging consistent participation in school. My key responsibilities include encouraging positive student behavior and supporting at-risk youth through intervention strategies. I collaborate with the social worker and other agencies like Buckner, Children and Family Services, and I also assist with parent and community activities as well as assisting with crisis interventions when needed. A day in the life of an intern. In the mornings, I usually review student files and prepare for group sessions. Mid-morning, I attend team meetings, which consist of the principal, assistant principal, two counselors, attendance specialist, and myself. Late morning, we conduct late morning, I conduct parent phone calls and document the calls. Afternoon, I facilitate group support sessions. Mid-afternoon, document case notes and progress updates. Late afternoon, collaborate with teachers and parents. And at the end of the day, I reflect and plan for the next day. Strategic plan objective. The objective is to implement a multi-tiered system of support that identifies targeted social, emotional, and academic interventions. The expected outcome was to increase student engagement by 20% through strategies such as facilitating a 6-week social skills group focused on conflict resolution and executive functioning. Metrics. The metrics were tracked through behavior referrals, interventions completed, attendance rates, and time on task observations. Data shows a decrease in behavior referrals from 4 to 2 a month, an increase in student sense of belonging to 55% to 75%. Lab artifacts. The first artifact that I chose was called the press release. It's mental health and awareness. It was an after-school event. This addressed students' mental health needs. It provided important information on mental health and its correlation with student achievement. And the campus made a commitment to creating a safe and supportive environment. The second artifact is Everyday Counts, strengthening student success through attendance. It was a survey created for parents to understand how attendance impacts students' social, emotional well-being, and academic success, and understanding how family challenges impact the students' attendance. Reflection, what I learned. I learned about student engagement skills, parent and student interaction and case management, school community partnership dynamics, and ethical practice in educational settings. Special projects, project of challenge, at-risk youth intervention and community resource mapping project. The key outcome, increased student engagement and connected families to resources, skills applied or gained, experience crisis de-escalation, case management, and multi-agency coordination. The lasting impact on the site, witness a sustainable referral network for future student support. Most powerful memory. I observed my supervisor, Ms. Flores, provide calm, compassionate support to a 7th grader after a suicidal crisis assessment. This experience replaced academic fears with the reality of life-saving, calm, and composed clinical advocacy, prioritizing creating safe spaces for for vulnerable, using empathetic and urgent crisis de-escalation. Lastly, I would like to thank Ms. Flores, the social worker who I worked with. She guided me through her patience and wisdom, and shared during my internship. Watching her work under pressure, especially in severe crisis moments, helped me understand the importance of students' mental health to their overall academic well-being. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariah Mims, and today I will be presenting my virtual conference presentation. So my internship was at West Orange Stark Elementary School. I am a family engagement intern, and my internship was through the spring semester of 2026. So an overview. We support, as a family engagement intern, we support students' academic success and their emotional success. We build partnerships between families, students, and school staff. We encourage communication, trust, and collaboration. And we also provide resources to support families and their students with their needs. So a day in life, I observe counsel sessions that support students' emotional well-being. I did get to attend truancy court just to get a better understanding of our attendance and of the issues with attendance and why families are having difficulty getting their children to and from school. I did get to participate in a few parent-teacher behavioral meetings, just observing. I didn't really speak much, just so the parents were more comfortable speaking with, family engagement members that they've already spoken to. Observed various collaborations that improve student behavior outcomes. I did get to help with academic readiness for our upcoming state testing. Brainstorm some resources with my family engagement team and just observe their interactions with families. Participated in one of our family engagement activities for after school activities, and that was our story night. That night was just to prepare, get students prepared for our round of testing and just have families come together. My strategic plan, my objective was to improve student documentation and intervention tracking systems. My likely outcome was to be more consistent in detailed in records of student behavior and their needs. Another outcome would be to increase communications between teacher, staff, and families. Metrics, the number of completed documentation forms, frequency, especially if there's a reoccurring behavior. If we had a different intervention plan, we could go back, see what that intervention plan was, and then either go build on that intervention plan or just redraft that intervention plan. And then, my family engagement team, they would like to adopt all of the tools that I've created over the course of my internship, because they do feel like these tools would be very beneficial for them in the long run. So for my artifacts, I made a potential family engagement opportunity, and then the trifold for incoming students, families, just so they know what all we have to offer. With the family engagement, this provides family, this supports awareness. Well, both artifacts support awareness of services available to students and family, and then provides family with school and community resource information. For my Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader artifact, I think that would be a fun family game night. activity for parents to, just kind of set up like the game show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Have parents versus students. They get to come and, view learn what their children are learning and, help them get a better understanding of what they're learning throughout their daily school day. So reflection, I learned the importance of family school partnerships needed for student success, develop stronger communication and professional interaction skills, gain empathy working with diverse families and student situations, observe real life impacts of what attendance and behavior interventions can do, and how that benefits the student. My most powerful memory was attending truancy court. I recognize some challenges families face that affects their students' overall performance in school. Another special project or just an overall memory was supporting state testing preparation efforts. Gained increased confidence in family engagement and supporting roles. So just for my acknowledgments, I would like to thank my site supervisor for their guidance and support, as long as with my family engagement team. I do appreciate them for their mentorship and professional development opportunities. And I'm just grateful for the overall hands-on learning experiences that I've learned through them. And this is my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.
Hi, hello. My name is Jasmine Richard. I am an intern at Hunters Glen Elementary as a student engagement intern. The overview as a student engagement intern is helping increase student participation, connection, and success. Involves working with students, families, and staff to create positive and engaging learning experiences. Activities such as attendance, mentorship, school events, and behavior or wellness supports. And of course, helped plan and organize student engagement events, promote school programs, and encourage student involvement in academics and extracurricular activities. The day in the life as a student engagement internship, I was able to assist with morning and dismissal duty. I was also ensured to help when it comes to lab prepping for STAR testing. I was able to help with fun activities with those events, as you can see in the picture. And I was also able to help for like field trips and also other family engagements as well, like muffins with mom or donuts with dudes and things of that nature. I was also able to assist when it comes to support in the classroom when the paraprofessional is not available. I am able to go in the classroom to assist on whatever the teacher is needing the help with. So the plan is for the matrix is as a student engagement intern, one key outcome is to increase student participation and involvement in programs and activities. The matrix is used to measure this, maybe include, again, attendance rates, the number of students engaged in these activities, and of course, overall improvement in student satisfaction and engagement levels. We want to make sure that we make school fun and not so stressed or so much packed on testing, but letting them know that their education is important, but they can have fun by also learning. So of course, building that stronger student connection to school through morning routines, fun activity, and staff support systems. So these are the artifacts that I'm very proud of, which is one of the Black History program. I was able to get all fifth grade dance involved on the campus. I wasn't able to get a lot of the boys involved, but just having the girls that's willing and wanting to learn and also present to their families, it was awesome. I was also able to be included as the Muffins with Mom As you know, families and parents are very vital to student success. So for me to see so many moms to come and show love to their babies and just give them more memories to accumulate before they go off to a different grade level, that was awesome to see. And I was also helpful for fifth grade again when it came to their glow in the dark star prep. They were able to do a pretty much a lab content for them, but it was more of like a glow in the dark thing for them. And I was able to face paint, but I was also at a station to where I was assisting with certain content that they would needed to be refreshed in order for them to pass the STAR test. So the reflection that I have on this internship was to gain hands-on experiences during supporting daily campus operations. I was able to develop stronger skills in student engagement and behavior support, build positive relationships with the students, staff, and teachers across the campus. I was able to learn the importance of flexibility and teamwork, assist the teachers with classroom needs, such as small groups. I was also able to gain experience supporting extracurricular activities and school-wide events, and of course, developing a deeper understanding of how strong school support system contributes to a student achievement. And of course, I cannot go ending this video without thanking and acknowledging my mentor, which is Principal Tiffany Williams at Hunters Glen Elementary. I thank you for letting me learn under your leadership. I know it was a little tasky because education can be chaotic sometimes, but you did it with a smile on your face, and that lets me know that I was under the great leadership of knowing how to persevere, do anything. I do thank you for listening, and I hope that I'm able to use everything I've learned in my future endeavors.
Wow, those were some great video reports. Now it's time to open up for our Q&A with the interns. Interns, please turn on your cameras now so we can see you, and also ask all that are in attendance to keep your cameras off for the duration of the session so that we can focus on the interns. We also ask that all attendees leave your microphones off unless you're asking a question. This will help keep, any unexpected sounds or anything distracting happening during the session. So let's see. Give me 1 second. There. Okay, there's everybody. Okay. If you have a question for one of the interns, please raise your hand, which is the little feature that you'll see that's going to be on the left side of the red leave button. You can also raise your hand by clicking the Control, Shift, and the K at the same time. If you would prefer to type your question, feel free to type it in the session chat and I will read it to the interns. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that the session is being recorded. I'll start off with a Q&A with a question for Pedro. Your internship was at a junior high. What was something that you learned during your internship that was unexpected?
I guess something that I learned throughout my internship is that all students are different, and they all come from different families. Um, when I first started there, I was a little bit nervous because I was like, oh, maybe this student's gonna be like this one, but no, yeah, like every student has their own personality, um, their own families. So that's something like that I learned from there.
Okay, that sounds really good. Now I do have a question. Does anyone have any other questions or anything that they wanted to ask? Okay. So I do have some general questions that I would like to ask. For any of you all, did your internship change how you viewed society?
For me, a little bit, not a lot, because I've always had a different viewpoint from everybody else when it comes to society in general. I just have a big soft spot especially for kids, so they know how to get like anything that goes in relates to like children struggling or anything that's one of the first things that I jump on. So during my intern, this made me more issues that a lot of our students have, and it's just from all over. Like they come from different, towns, cities, states, and they bring those like escaping the issues that they are currently going through, and they trying to look for a fresh start. So it's trying to get them rebalanced and just
Okay.
just at one time, if that makes sense.
Well, most definitely. Most definitely. Thank you. Now, Andrea, I did see your hand go up, but it went away. Did you have a question that you wanted to ask? So let's see. She sent it in the chat. Let me go pull that up.
I
Okay.
think the question's for me. It says,
Okay, you can see it? Okay.
yeah. It says, I love senior Black History event for the kids. What was the hardest part of creating or planning that event? Um, the kids kind of made it easy. I'm not gonna say it was hard. Just making sure that they all stay in cohesive together. Especially like some of the girls, they never danced before, right? So they never knew how to like use their movement or move with people that's around you. So I think that was the hardest part is just trying to get them cohesive, especially the girls that never danced before, even the boys that dance. They were very like, oh my gosh, do I want to do this? They was like very hesitant at first because they're boys, right? So they automatically think, oh, this is really a girl's thing. So that's why I kind of tried to make it universal so that everybody can feel included. So once they was able to see like, oh, this actually was nice because they did it twice. They did it for the morning program for the I guess the early literacy center. They do theirs in the morning, and they actually did the older kids at night. So when they saw it the first time, they was like, "Oh, this is cool." So they wanted to do more in the evening show. So just trying to get them to see the bigger picture and not just because they're just moving. So that was the hardest part.
Awesome. Awesome. Did anyone else have any questions? Okay, so for the other interns, I have a question. What was one of the hardest parts of your internship?
For me, the hardest part was getting to know that a lot of our kids are struggling with mental health issues. Um, I think for the most part, our social worker worked with, I want to say over 10 cases where, the kids are really struggling. They have a lot of issues going on at home, and it's hard because they're middle schoolers, and most of them are sixth, seventh graders that are going and seeking for help. I think that's just very tough.
That would be tough. I work in a middle school as well, and mental health is most definitely real. A lot of people think kids don't struggle with things, but they really do. And that's something that people need to know that, kids matter, their mental health is very important. And in middle school, they're already emotional. So, they have just a ball of emotion. So I think that's really good that you guys had the support there for them. Anyone else?
Uh, for me, the hardest part during my internship was actually being able to be an intern. Like because we, especially in my school district, we're always short on like staff members and subs. So in the midst of me like going into actually getting in depth with my internship, I'd always have to get pulled to go sit in the classroom and kind of help out in those areas, which it kind of helps with my internship hours, but it really doesn't because that's a part of my um daily job description as a instructional aide. So it was hard trying to balance all that time.
Okay. So it was like they did a little double dipping. You had to wear multiple hats. So one minute you had to do your intern duties and then you had to do your regular job duties. So I can see how that could be, it'd be a little difficult. What about you, Pedro?
I guess to add on what Mara said, the difficult part for me was sometimes I have to translate for meetings about their child self-harming themselves, and I'll have to sit there and see like the parent cry, and it almost got to me sometimes because it was difficult because sometimes I know the kid and I'm just like I never picture him doing that or her doing that, so that was very difficult for me sometimes to be in those meetings.
Oh, I can most definitely see that.
I also just piggyback with Mariah as well, because I feel the same way because I do work on the campus, but trying to juggle so much at the same time can just be a lot. But I made it do. I had to say, hey, no, I cannot. I have to do this portion. So it was a task like trying to juggle so much all at one time. Yeah.
I can see that. That's why I was kind of scared to do my internship at my job. I was like, it's not gonna happen. So I commend you guys for doing that. That's really great. Does anyone else have any questions? No? Okay. Well, I do have a question. What is one lesson that you will carry with you into your future career? And that's for all of you guys.
Just know every child is different. They learn different. Their personalities are different, and you have to figure out how to cater to each and every single one of them, even if it's all in the collective of something. And I feel like a lot of us, we fail to realize that, and we just generalize a lot of things, but then that's how we lose a child. So I feel like we have to figure out how to cater to their understanding so they can comprehend and also be successful. So that's my take.
Um, for me, I would say because I know, well, not a lot, but like it's very hard for like a lot of our students, most of our most of our staff, we know the families outside of school, so we already have like a preconceived idea of how like that family operates, just preconceived conceptions of that family in general. So I would say even if you know that student's family outside of school, don't just go in like don't, if you have interaction with said student, don't react based off of perceived conceptions, if that makes sense. Like because a lot of them, yes, they have their issues going on, but you don't know the true depth of what they're really going through.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, there's a question in the chat. Let me pull it up. Okay, so the question is from Melissa, and she wanted to know, did anyone have a change of heart for your career plans during or after your internship? For example, were you leaning towards working with kids or you no longer want to?
For me, no, I think this actually made me continue want to working with kids. Um, I see the need, the support that they need, and I think it was just another push to continue doing what I'm doing.
Second that.
Uh, I'm sorry, can y'all hear me? I
Yes.
was on my Chromebook, but now it's not working right. So I'm trying to see if y'all can hear me from my phone. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. To answer that question, no, I've my career plans haven't changed. I want to work with children. The only thing that's changed for me is that I want to work with our preschool age group. That's just my favorite, my preferred group.
The littles. That's good.
Yeah, I plan to do the same thing. I also work at a middle school right now. And so I kind of changed my plans to go into elementary as well, because I know there's a lot of impact that we have on these kids. And I still remember my teachers from elementary. So, it's good to start them early on, letting them know that we're here for them, and also being able to, I feel like parents are more involved whenever it's elementary. Everybody wants to attend all the little kids events and everything. So I think it's a great way to start talking to the parents from there, and getting them staying involved with the kids, because as they get older and they go on to middle school, a lot of these kids in middle school, they're they want to stay away from, start being more independent and doing their own thing. And I feel like parents should always know that it's important to stay involved in their kids' lives. So it all starts at an early age, and then it continues on even after high school.
I agree. Anyone else? Okay, if there's no other questions, I do have one last question. And it would be, what advice would you give to future interns?
I say this a lot. Show yourself grace. Uh, you human. You still gotta work. You still gotta make sure you take care of home. Make sure you gotta take care of yourself. Like show yourself grace, but also just say, make sure you keep tabs of everything. Because certain things I be forgetting that it's something that's connected to my internship, and I completely forget because I just be doing it because my principal asked me to do it. And then I'm like, wait, why didn't you write this down? So just always calculate everything that you do.
For me, I guess like I will tell them like be open
Sorry, I'm trying
to
to get
You got it. Go ahead, Pedro. You got it.
Oh, okay. So I was saying that just be aware that there's different types of families all over, and that you're here to help. You're here to like make a difference and like just in the students and in their families' lives. And sometimes it might be a little bit uncomfortable due to certain situations. But just know you have support. Just because doing your internship at a school, you have many different resources that you can like find for students and for their families.
Okay. Mariah, you wanted to add to that?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question for me, please? I'm having technical difficulties. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The question was just, what advice would you give to a future intern?
You're gonna be nervous initially, but once you actually like get more in depth into your internship and you actually go with what you like, trying to say it without stumbling over my words. I'm sorry. Like for instance, like for me, during the course of my internship, I really I just learned that I really prefer, even though I'm at an elementary campus, I have more of a connection with the pre-K campus that I came from previously. So I just learned that go with what your heart allows you to go with, and don't just try to rush into something new. Kind of give yourself the time to just, learn new things and adapt and truly figure out what it is that you have a true passion for.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, one thing that I would like to add, for the future interns, if we have any that's, on, that's on in the conference today, is to keep an open mind. Just have an open mind and trust the process. It may be something that you didn't expect to do or something that you think you may not want to do. But once you learn and once you grow and come out of that comfort zone, you'll find out, sometimes that stretch, you have to stretch yourself. And then within that stretch, growth comes. So that's what I would share to a future intern as well. Did anyone else have any questions? Okay, if there's no more questions, then I just want to say it looks like we're going to be out of time. We still have a few minutes if anyone has anything that they want to share. If not, I do want to thank you all, for the participation, and thank you to the participants for asking great questions, and a big thank you to the wonderful presenters for sharing their internship experience with us. When I end this session, you will be back at the Conference Welcome Center where you originally entered this session. I encourage you to review the conference schedule, then join us in another session. If that's all, thank you guys for joining us today, and I hope to see you again in another session. Thanks.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.